What's going on, everyone? Summer here, coming to you with a full gameplay commentary of Draven with his newly released skin, the Gladiator Draven skin. I'm loving that skin. It's really good. You'll see a lot of the cool stuff that it has to offer. So if you're thinking about buying it, definitely do so. Hopefully this video will influence you to get it. Now, this is going to be a full commentary, so I do want you guys to please let me know what I can do to improve my commentaries for future videos, and also what I can do to improve on my AD carry. So yeah, just give me all the feedback you possibly can, and remember to subscribe at the end of the video. So, alright, so I did start off with a Doran's Blade for lane sustain, for the lifesteal and the attack damage. On Draven, it's really good. And as you're noticing here, we are starting golems so that we can get that level advantage on our opponent. So I'll finish this off here. With Draven, it's really easy to do because he does such good damage early game that it's really not a problem. Okay, so usually I'd like my support to ward the Tri-Bush because against more advanced players, they will come and check to see if you're doing golems and kill you at that if you're doing it. But luckily for us, they did not do so. Alright, so we're versing a Caitlyn Alistar. So it's very hard to kill them. But I'm not going to ruin the video for you guys. I'm just going to go along talk as we go along here. Alright, so when you're CSing, make sure that you're using your Q to do so. This way you can poke whenever you want. If you're not using your Q... Oh yeah, you can press Q again, by the way, to have double axes. You just Q once and then wait a little bit and then press Q again. And you can use 2 axes. Catching 2 axes is very hard, especially in team fights. It's like insane. But yeah, like I was saying, definitely use your Q to farm because this way you can poke as well. Draven's Q poke damage is unbelievable. Alright, so we're just CSing here. I do see him in there, so I'm just going to punish him for that. After doing that, he does notice that I had vision on him, so he puts a pink ward down, which was smart of him. So once I noticed I didn't have vision on Alistar, I start to move to the left side of the lane. This way, he would have to come out of the bush to get me, and I could have time to react. Alright, see right there I maxed out my Q. I usually like to get my W. I usually like to go Q, E, then W, just to get all 3 of my abilities. But since I just realized that mid got ganked or whatever and died, I was just like, alright, fine. I'll just get my Q for extra damage. Alright, so just farming. Caitlyn did put a cupcake in the middle of the lane. My support stepped in it, so I wouldn't. That's a good play by her. Alright, so as you know, Zyra put down the plant so that I can get vision.
An enemy has been slain.
Alright, so now I got out my double axes. Once I have that out, I like to be a little more aggressive because I like to put in that good damage. So right now, even if you can poke the support, do so. I mean, Caitlyn's playing really safe right now, and as she should be. She has like the furthest range in the beginning of the game, so it's really hard for me to, harass her since she's staying so far back. So I'm just poking the support because he's the only one out of position. So as you see there, I'm trying to like get in distance where I can actually throw an axe at her, but she keeps backing away and playing safe. So it's good on her part. Because if she was playing like a little more aggressive and trying to like trade with me, like you don't want to trade with the Draven, like even as Kate early game, because he will just out damage you. So she knows that, as you can tell. So right now this is just a farm lane. I could probably be CSing a little better. I'm not too familiar with like the mathematics of this game yet, like how much damage I'm doing early game, and CSing is probably my weakest point at the moment. I think my mechanics are pretty good, but CSing is definitely something I gotta work on, especially early game. My early game farming is pretty bad. Alright, so the one thing I like about Draven with his farming is his Q has like, it's like an ignite, and on minions, even if you don't last hit, sometimes the ignite will like get the last hit for you. It's pretty cool. Alright, just farming. Also, make sure you have map awareness. I know sometimes it's hard when you're farming, but if you see the jungler on the other team is in another lane harassing another lane, that should be your if you notice that, you should be playing more aggressive. This way you know that you won't be getting ganked or anything like that, especially if you feel the advantage. I feel like I should have been playing more aggressive this game because I am Draven and I do more damage than Kate. But this, like, I was kind of relying on Zyra to hit more binds, and I would capitalize on it when she did, but she only really hit it on the support, as you'll see. She never. It's hard to get one on Kate anyway because she's so far back and she hasn't her E to get away. But Sire's still doing a good job though. See what I mean? She hit the Alistar instead of Caitlyn. I mean, it's fine because, like I said, Alistar's the only one who's out of position. Okay, so mid lane was doing good this game. Was winning her lane, especially early. Even though she was getting camped by Master E. Oh, see, there she goes. She landed a bind. See right there, that was, I guess it was my fault, because I wasn't close enough to really punish Caitlyn for getting trapped. Alright, so she stepped into a trap. Luckily, Kate is never in position to punish us for stepping into traps, because she's too afraid. Like right here, Alistar just took, I don't know what he's doing. He took way too much damage, so I figured I'd flash in there. I'm so lucky that Kate missed that E. I did pop my barrier there because I was afraid that the last tick of Ignite would kill me. Alright, so I just used that to clear the minion wave so that Kate wouldn't push that much and do a little more damage on her to make her back off of my support. So once Draven gets ahead in lane, he pretty much can bully. And luckily that Alistar, I feel like the Alistar made a good play. I mean, he did his combo wrong. He should have pulverized and then shoved me to Caitlyn instead of pushing me away and then pulverizing. Caitlyn probably could have got a kill there because she almost had me even when he didn't pull the right combo. But luckily, it came out with a kill. Alright, so I got my BF sword first. What I like to do is I like to rush Bloodthirster on Draven first. I've seen some people do Infinity Edge. I noticed a lot of people rush Infinity Edges on him as well, but I prefer Bloodthirster into Zeal into Infinity Edge. Alright, so now farming is going to be even easier. Once you have BT on most AD carries, farming becomes no problem. But you still, even though your damage is good, like with your BT on Draven, you still want to make sure you're farming with your Q because you still want to be able to do that poke damage, even in mid game or later early game, if that makes sense. Okay, so now we have vision on their in their bush. Zyra should be warding Tri and River right now, just in case we get ganked. I feel like we don't have enough ward coverage down here right now. But, you know, I'm Draven, so YOLO. Alright, so got the double axes out. Notice I do have 4 health potions. The only reason that I do that, I only usually do that against Kates, because Kates have such range that they can just poke even if I am Draven. So I noticed that I only had a Doran's Blade for lifesteal, which isn't that much, because I think it's only like 5 health a hit or something like that. I don't remember. But since I didn't have enough for a Vampiric Scepter, I just got potions instead. Like, look at the damage I'm doing on Alistar, and that's Alistar. He's tanky. Alright, so she told me to back off for a second, which was smart because she was warding. As a support, you definitely want to communicate with your AD carry, because if she didn't ping me to go back, I probably would have went in and died and freaked out. So, bot lane is all about communication and working together. It's not a solo lane, so working with someone else is very important in order to win. So right there, Zyra has so many opportunities right here to hit a bind on her, and she's not taking it. So, since I've realized that she's not an aggressive player, like, as Zyra, you should be an aggressive support, but since I noticed that she's not, I just decided to farm. You kind of got to be able to read that, especially for ranked. You got to be able to read your support and see how they play, and then base your playstyle off theirs. That's like the best way to work together with someone. Just adapt to their playstyle. Because if you have two separate playstyles, then you won't work together and you'll lose your lane. Alright, so I did miss an axe there. It brings me back down to one axe, but that's still okay. No problem. Alright, so one thing I do suggest is if you're farming under the turret as Draven, don't use your Q. Because by the time you catch an axe, you'll probably miss CS. Because under the turret, you got to be able to react quick, and with your Q, that's just not going to happen. But I'm doing it anyway, so just learn from my mistakes. Like, the back wave is really easy because you just have to hit them once, but that's no problem. Another mistake that I noticed that I've been making is when you're on my side, like the golem side in the bottom lane, you should always, like, even if the lane's midway and not fully pushed, you should go back, get golems, and come back because you want to be able to snowball your lane. And I didn't do that this game, which was my mistake. I did in the beginning, which was smart, which got me the early advantage, which is probably why we got that kill, but I didn't do it the rest of the game, which was bad. Alright, so it's still just farming. It's a pretty boring lane right now, I do apologize. It does get better later in the game, I promise. More action. Laning phase is usually boring to watch. Okay. Alright, so Shaco pings Dragon. However, I do realize that the lane is going towards him. So, this is a perfect... Alright, so look, they're out of position. Zyra right here. This is, like, they put themselves in a perfect position for Zyra and me. Like, look at that. Zyra's ult and my ult together works so well. Alright, so we burnt Caitlyn's flash. I burnt my flash. Unfortunately, I didn't get the kill. I did get the assist. And Caitlyn did get away. I think if Zyra would have ulted a little earlier, or binded Caitlyn then ulted, it would have been an easy double kill. But unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. But we got what we can. And that just put us even more ahead in our lane, which is really good. Alright. So, you want to make sure that the first skill you level up as Draven or max out is your Q. Your Q is the most important, most powerful. Your axes are all your damage pretty much. So make sure that's the first thing you max out. And like I said in the beginning, I get Q, then E, then W, and then I just max out Q from there. Alright, so I do see Fizz here. I missed that axe. I don't know how I missed that axe. That was actually a really crucial thing because your Q resets your W. If you catch an axe, your W gets reset. Alright, so Fizz goes in really deep here. Okay, so I do see Yee's getting hit by the turret. So I go for him. I do hit him, but I wasn't able to kill him. Zyra does get the kill with her passive when she was dead. Yeah, as you know, I said the fudge. I don't understand why they dove that like that. I mean, if Alistar would have dove and then used his ult, that would have been a really good dive on their part. But their two squishies dove us, and we punished them because they took too much damage from the turret, and we were able to clean them up. Alright, so Shaka goes for the kill. And then Ahri ults. Good ult by Ahri. So that was good teamwork there. So that was, I think it was a 2-for-4 trade. And I got a kill, Zyra got a kill. And Ahri got a double kill, I think. Whatever. Alright, so now that we see that the lane is pushed, we got our tower, and they're going for Dragon. They shouldn't really need our help, so I'm going to go for Golems, which I should have been doing more in the game earlier to snowball my lane better. So as you know, I got my Bloodthirster, got boots, and now I'm building my Infinity Edge. I have the pickaxe, which is plus 25 attack damage. Alright, so the next thing I like to max out is I should have, in all honesty, now that I think about it, I should be maxing out my W next instead of my E. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Do you guys feel you should max out W or E first? Because in my opinion, I don't understand what maxing them out really does. I just know maxing out your Q is the most important thing because it's all your damage. But I'm assuming W would be more important because of the speed. Probably increases the amount of speed that you run. So, but yeah, like I was saying earlier, I don't think I fully explained it. Your Q resets your W. What I mean is like if you have your Q up and you have an axe out and you catch an axe, it resets your W, so you can get away and chase someone pretty much forever. So you can Q, catch, run, Q, catch, W, Q, catch, W, on and on and on, which is pretty overpowered, but a lot of people don't know how to do that and didn't know you could do that. I actually found that out recently, and I've been playing Draven for a while, and I felt kind of dumb when I just found that out, but... Alright, so Shaco is giving me red buff here. Good guy, jungler. Alright, so I see Zyra's holding off Caitlyn. She's taking too much damage, but, you know, she is doing a good job keeping her from poking the turret, which is most important. Alright, so I did ping Caitlyn there because I did notice that Zyra had her ult up. So I told her to, I like pinged it pretty much saying to go ham, but maybe she didn't understand that, so it's okay. So, she's a very passive player, this Zyra, so I'm just gonna farm. Alright, so I do punish Caitlyn for being out of position. And it looks like when Alistar goes ham like that, it means that he's trying to like go for a kill, so I realized that. Zyra counters it with her ult, and I'm able to clean it up with mine. Fortunately, Alistar is too fast. I don't know how he was so fast. I looked to check to see if he had mobility boots, but he only had Merc Treads. Alright, so I'm just cleaning up this wave. Don't want to overextend too much because, as you can see, they're only on the map and they could potentially be in that tri-bush. Even though she's got it seeded right now, it could come. And she's going back. Yeah, she pings me back, so I decided to go back.
I've got pain to serve.
She says I'm scared. I do believe I respond. I'm Draven, though. Yep. I'm Draven, though. Yeah, Draven's definitely my favorite AD carry. He has a good early game, a good mid game, a good late game. He doesn't have any point of the game where he's bad, in my opinion. He's just strong all around. He's so fun to play. His mechanics are just so well thought out. So really the only lane in this game that's losing is top, I believe. But that's perfectly okay, because if more lanes are winning, then that's better. Okay, so we get golems again. Alright, so I see that there are people mid. I start to come over there. You can't see it, but I do pop my W to run there faster. Fortunately, my team doesn't even need me there. And Ari gets out with like 10 health. Wow. I do believe Reddington comes out of nowhere here. If I think so. Oh, maybe not. Alright, so now we push objectives. I don't know why my team went back on this one. I just decided to go for another turret here. But fortunately they do get Reddington out of place, and we're able to punish him for it. However, he does get Shaco. Reddington OP. And I do... I do waste my ult there. Yep, I say best ult on any. Figure I'd put in some humor to this. Completely wasted ult, but it's alright, because we're so far ahead at this point, it's not that big of a deal. Look at the damage I do to Alistar by just catching axes here. I don't know what he's doing. I guess he's just trolling now. It's kind of lame of him to do. Make sure to report players like that who ruin the game for the other team. Or your team. Alright, so I'm 4-1 right now. Well, in my head I'm really 3-1 because that Alistar kill was kind of cheap. Alright, so at this point it's just over. As you can tell, Ari is just so fed. all lanes are pretty much winning except for top, and even now top is, I'm sure, even. My eyes are just set on this mid tower right now. So we do get this turret. Right now I'm just pushing waves, poking turrets, going for objective. Alright, Alistar does get a decent pulverize on me. He what's his name? Fizz does miss his ult. Good ult by Zyra. Even though it didn't hit anyone, it was a good zoning ult, which gave us time to run. Alright, I was going to ult right there, but then I realized he could just heal himself. I don't know what this Fizz is doing. Fizz just completely out of place there. So, I get caught by Renington. Unfortunately, I do have barrier, and my team is able to clean them up before they kill me. That was bad positioning on my part. I got confused. I didn't know whether I wanted to go for Master Yi or for Renington. Probably should have went for Yi, but I got caught out of place by Renington, and I almost got punished for it. But fortunately, my team was able to save me. Alright, so right now I'm 5-1. I do have Affinity Edge, Bloodthirster, and I am building my Zeal. So I see that red buff is up, and I'm going for it. One thing that I need to work on is I need to work on timing buffs when I take them for my jungler. You know, anything that can help the team, like ward timing, buff timing, just all that kind of stuff. Dragon. Those are very important. And I need to like learn the times for that and keep times. Like right here, I should have been like, alright, the buff will be up at this time now. Just so I let my jungler know. But honestly, he probably doesn't care because at this point, it's just almost guaranteed victory. So right here, I don't know why I'm farming race. Like if I'm looking at my map right now, and I saw that there was a lot of action going on over there, and that Shaco almost got caught, so I should have reacted better. And got over there fast instead of farming race. Right, so they do catch Renington out of place here. I knew he was going to do that, so I figured I would just run and cut him off. And we get the kill for it. Woohoo! So I go on a rampage, and that is when they end the game there. 5-0, 5 votes. And yeah, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. I know I stuttered a lot. I mean, this is my first time doing, well, my second time doing a full game commentary. And I know I need to improve on it a lot. So let me know what you guys think I could do to work on my commentaries, my gameplay, and anything else. So please remember to subscribe. Thanks a lot, guys. Peace.